What's up, everybody? TonyPizzaGuy here, back again with another video. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys because I know there's been a lot of people who have been struggling with the $1 Million Tower. So I put out a tweet that said, hey, have you beat the $1 Million Tower, with a picture of AJ Styles, the gold one. I said, have you beat the $1 Million Tower? Beat the $1 Million Tower. Have you beat it? Have you? Have you done it? And a lot of people are like, I'm still struggling. It's taking me so hard. So I kind of wanted to sit here and talk to you guys and tell you kind of my little strategy on how I actually went through and beat the $1 Million Tower. As you see on the screen, we have $1 Million Tower gameplay. One of the easiest things that I can tell you is that you're going to need to cheese the system here and use it to your best ability. There's a few people that are pretty hard in the game. Carl Anderson gets pretty hard. He's got the gun stun, and that move's kind of hard to counter. Brock Lesnar is insanely hard. He's probably the hardest in the game is Brock Lesnar. It's because it's that steel cage match with Brock Lesnar, and you got to get him to submit. The biggest thing I can say to you first off is that damage does not matter. Your health does not matter. That's the best thing that I can say. Don't worry about your health. If your health is red, your arms are red, your arms are yellow, head's red, whatever. Don't worry about that. That does not matter. What matters most is a few things. First off, you're going to want to cheese the game by doing the Pele kick over and over and over again. Do the Pele kick, you hold left on the stick and then hold the square button, and that'll bring up the Pele kick. You'll do it over and over and over and over again. Do the Pele kick. When they go on the ground, you want to stomp. Now, this is a normal cheese here that a lot of people know about, and that's the ground stomps. It used to be 3 stomps and they would get up, but now you can just stomp, 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 stomp. And the reason you're doing the ground stomps is because you want them to waste their reversals. When they waste the reversals, then you can hit your signatures and your finishers. So basically, the strat here is Pele kick till they get to the ground, then stomp, 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 stomp. They do a reversal, rinse, and repeat. Now, there are times where they could reverse the Pele kick. There are times when they could get you in a move, but you're going to have to just get used to those reversal timings. The one thing that you do want to watch out is when people have the earn an extra reversal stock. I think Bobby Roode does starting off. There's a couple other people that do. They use a reversal stock right there. And then there's also resiliency, which is kind of annoying. So that payback resiliency happens during submission matches. So you kind of got to get them to pretty much use their resiliency and use their reversal, and then you'll be good. So again, the number one thing you want to do is Pele kick and then stomp. Pele kick and then stomp. Then they'll reverse it. Then you can Pele kick again and stomp. The good thing about the Pele kick is it's one of those moves that you can do from a long distance, and that's really, really nice. There have been questions about the submission matches because a lot of people are saying the submission matches are the hardest. What should I do? I do not recommend the button mashing system. I really do not. I think the button mashing system is okay, but I don't think it works to the best here. I feel like getting used to the way that the submission wheel works, where you have to move the sticks, that is the best way to do it. So here's what I do. I rock it back and forth. So I'll go left and right, up and down on the top. So I'll go left, try to hit him. Then if it connects, he'll move the other way. Then I'll go right. I always use the fast, I think it's hold left trigger and it moves faster. So I always do that first. Hold the left trigger, go fast. And then when I get right into the red, when I'm doing the submission to him, I will let go and then hold it until I can and then go back. It's just rocking it back and forth is pretty much the best strategy there. Now, I will say this. A lot of people say, well, should you do the calf crusher? Should you work on the legs and do the calf crusher? Is that one of those things? So AJ Styles has a weird move set. His leg submission is actually a head submission. His arm submission, like by his side, is actually a head submission as well. And his head submission is an arm submission. So it's very weird. He doesn't have any leg submissions besides the calf crusher. So what I would recommend, I wouldn't even do the calf crusher. The reason I don't recommend the calf crusher is because he rolls too much. You do the calf crusher, you roll in the ropes all the time. They always get a rope break. Plus, working that leg, you only have the calf crusher to finish him off. So what I like to do is I like to work on the head. And with the head for the submission matches, it is very good because your finishers, both finishers, and your second signature will work on the head. Both finishers and your second signature will work on the head. So that is really, really, really nice. So you definitely just want to work on the head, work on the head, work on the head. I think you get it red, maybe purple if you can. Snap in that submission, learn it, rock it back and forth, and there you go. That's the easiest technique I have for the submissions is rocking the stick back and forth and working on the head. Literally, the head is the best way that you can do this, is just keep working on the head, because that's what I found works the best for me in that submission. And then when it's time to go, I always go to the arms and then do the head submission. So it's such a weird way that his moveset is. And I think they do that for a reason. They give him such a weird thing, because it's just very weird. The one thing I do say is always hit X on submissions, because there's one match, I can't remember which match it is, but they turn it where X is the only way to, it's a pinfall only match, but then they add some, it's not a submission match. It's a regular match, but they have submissions only. So you think it would be O to get that submission, but it's not. It's X to get the submission. So by default, I just always go for X. So I will say here, the hardest person in the entire game is Brock Lesnar. If you can get him and get him right away, that's the best way to do it. One of the things that he likes to do, and a lot of people like to do this, is they like to stall you out. So Brock Lesnar has a ground pound punches where he will ground pound you and he will get on top of you and he'll hit with fists over and over and over. And literally, that's literally the most annoying thing in the world. The best thing I can say for you is to try and get Brock when you can with a Pele kick immediately, and then get to the stomps. And that's literally the best strategy you got for Brock Lesnar. If he does snap into some submissions as well as some other people, you don't want to play like a cat and mouse game, because I always find myself getting caught. And by cat and mouse, I mean you going one way and the CPU chasing you. When I do that, I feel like they always catch me. So sometimes you have to go, like, it seems weird, but sometimes with submissions, you have to go through their bar to get to the other bar. It's really, really weird. It's really, really weird. Another thing I will mention, just thinking of wrestlers off the top of my head, Finn Balor takes like 4 or 5 finishers before you can actually get the win on him. So think about that with Finn Balor, is like 4 or 5 submissions or finishers before you can get him down. And then when you get to the golden AJ Styles, I mean, that's literally probably one of the easier guys in the game. It's not that hard. There is a glitch, I think, at one point that I heard chat telling me before, that if you roll out of the ring, because there is no ring out, if you roll out of the ring in that match, you can get stuck out there and you can't get back in. So don't do that, especially if you're on the $1 Million Tower. But I think AJ Styles is one of the easiest one. Basic strategy here. Don't fix it if it's not broken. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Pele kick. Pele kick. Pele kick. Pele kick. You start off with the Pele kick. Do some stomps. And there you go. If you're ever finding yourself at a hard time and you're just getting beat up over and over and over, a really nice running grapple will slow the pace. One of the things I do in submission matches also is I will do a running grapple and I will throw them to the outside ring apron. And then I will do my OMG moment, which is R1 and triangle. And then I'll do a DDT on the ring apron. And then that will do some head damage for that submission match. Again, there's many different strategies. Like I said, Pele kick is first. Stomp is second. Save up for your finisher and signature. Don't even worry about doing other moves. Just stomp, 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 stomp. And you'll get up to a finish, and you definitely will. I mean, it took me forever to beat this, and it definitely will take you forever to beat this. So you definitely got to keep going at it over and over and over and over and over and over until you beat it, because it's literally the hardest thing in this game is this $1 Million Challenge. But once you start doing it, you're going to get into this cheese thing where you're going to hate the way you play the game, like I do. Right now, I'm like, Pele kick, Pele kick, Pele kick. The first move I bought for my player was the Pele kick, and I use it all the time. So there it is. Pele kick is a must in this game. So I think that's kind of the only tips and tricks I have. But if you follow this, it'll be very easy for you. If you see a guy, like one of the things I always do, if you see somebody running at you, do a running grapple, because running Irish whip, I should say. Running Irish whip will always get you out of a bind if you're facing something pretty crazy. Running Irish whip, do that. And then just kind of do the Pele kick, stomp when they're on the ground, rinse and repeat until you can beat it. I mean, one of the good things you're going to want to do is learn the reversal timing. You're going to want to learn the submission system. I recommend the slider, not the button mashing. I think button mashing, at some point, if they get it on, you can't get out of it unless you have a turbo controller, which I don't think anybody has in 2018. But I don't know. I'm curious to know if any of these tips did help you, if you guys are still struggling, if anything really is, making your life heck, let me know. But I think that hopefully these tips and tricks are going to save you going forward for that $1 million challenge and even just challenges going forward and playing and cheesing online. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's how you want to win, go for it. More power to you. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's video. Let me know if you guys beat the $1 million tower, if these tips helped you. Yes, no, maybe so. That's where we're going to end today's video. As always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy, and we'll see you in another video.